Welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of Morning Stars Life Study. We come to you every Thursday evening, live and in living color, for another powerful edition of our life study. It is when we take on another issue using the Bible as our foundation, for it is the Bible that is our creed. It is the Bible that is our foundation. It is the Bible that is our guide. It is the Bible that we live by. And this evening is no different. And we ask you to put your finger in the book of 3 John. 3 John. Put your finger in the book of 3 John. That is 1 John, 2 John, 3 John. As way in the back of the New Testament. As you put your finger there, repeat these words after me. This is God's holy word. Receive it, believe it, and achieve it. So, 3 John verse 2. 3 John verse 2. Beloved, I pray that all may go well with you. Beloved, I pray that all may go well with you and that you may be in good health as it goes well with your soul. And so here, John is praying for, John is wishing for the health of the people to whom he is writing, both from a material perspective, a physical perspective, a mental perspective, as well as, and especially, a spiritual perspective. And this evening we're focusing in on our physical health and well-being. And we have two giants, two experts, two persons who have focused in on this as their professional careers, if you will. And in fact, we should be mindful of the fact that the month of May, indeed, is Health and Fitness Month, in addition to a host of other things that have been declared in this month. Health and fitness is one of them. And we're focusing in on it. And the scriptures declare that God wants us to be healthy. God wants us to be well. God wants us to take care of our bodies. God wants us to take care of ourselves. God does not want us sick. Wellness is the order of the day. And that's what God wants for us. But you know, you got to work at it. Now, and let me make it plain. You can catch sickness, you can catch an illness, but you can't catch health and well-being. You have to work at health. You have to work at wellness. You have to work at well-being. Those things don't come by accident. Those things don't come by incident. Those things don't come automatically. You got to work at it. You got to work at being healthy. You got to work at being well. And you got to be serious about it. So as I said, we have two fabulous experts for you this evening. Hopefully you're in the process of calling your neighbors, calling your friends, calling your enemies. You'll make a friend to come and listen to these very dynamic professionals on this evening. Now, so as to not take up too much of their time, because I want you to be exposed to their expertise. Let me hasten to bring on our first guest, and our first guest is Miss Sharon Molzak. Miss Sharon Molzak. Now, Sharon Molzak is a high-powered expert nutritionist. We have. She's a part of Morning Star. She's a member of Morning Star, and we have used her on so many occasions. And that's not the important thing. The important thing is the reason why we have used her on so many occasions. And the reason is she is such an expert at what it is she does. And not only is she expert at what it is she does, she knows how to present it in a common and everyday way. She breaks down multisyllabic and multi-convoluted terms of nutrition, almost analogous to the way the body breaks down extended and complicated carbohydrate molecules all the way down to basic glucose. She does the same thing in the English language as she explains nutrition to us. So let me give to you our world-class nutrition, Miss Sharon Molzak. She's gonna talk to you a little bit, and she's also going to explain to you, how you can reach her if you want some special consultation and help with nutrition. And I ask you to keep in mind that this is her profession. She doesn't volunteer this stuff. This is her profession. So if you're going to call her for some expert advice and consultation, just be prepared to pay for it. Like you'd be prepared to pay a painter if they were going to come and paint your house. She'd come fix your body up. You ought to be concerned about, what that would, you wouldn't, want to disrespect paying her as well. So anyway, Sharon Molzak, talk to us about nutrition.
So good evening, Pastor, and good evening, everyone. Thanks for such a warm welcome. I really do appreciate that. And I do not take your presence lightly. I'm elated that you have confidence in me and that you trust me in this process. So today I'm going to speak on eat to live and not live to eat. So my hope is that by the end of this session, everybody will be able to take a point or two and incorporate it into your daily lives. I know we may have people from different backgrounds, different knowledge in terms of nutrition, but I'm gonna break it down as simple as I can. And I'm confident that at the end of it, you will be able to take away a couple of points, okay? So before I get started and get into things, I just wanna read a quick scripture. It is from Ecclesiastes chapter 9, and it is verse 7. And it reads like this: Go thy way, eat thy bread with joy, and drink thy wine with a merry heart. For God now accepted thy works. And I'm going to go to 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 11. Whether therefore you eat or drink, or whatsoever you do all to the glory of God. So the bottom line is, food is meant to be enjoyable. That's the first concept that I want to get across. We give food so much negative energy sometimes. When we think about food and nutrition, we tend to think about diet and about weight. And those two things will not be part of my presentation today, because there is more to nutrition than the scale. What does the scale say? And being on a diet. People meet me all the time. Could I have a diet? I say, I'm sorry. I am not on a diet. I do not do diet, so I really can't give you one. What I teach lifestyle change and behavior modification, things that you can use on a daily basis to improve your quality of life, okay? So that being said, let's get right into it. Now, your body is a temple. It's a temple, and you need to treat it as such, okay? I remember one time Pastor did a lesson, and he said, if you have a garden and you do not take care of it, it becomes a jungle. And I made note of that, and it really, really caught my attention. So the bottom line is everything needs to be cared for, and that includes your body. Sometimes we are so busy, we take things for granted, but at the end of the day, if you do not have your health, you are really nothing. And that's one thing this pandemic would have taught us, okay? Health is so very, very important. And it should be, we should start reprioritizing. And all aspects of health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your financial health, your physical health, your nutritional health. It's a circle. And when one is broken, then you become compromised. So that being said, let me go back to my area, which is nutritional health. Now, one thing I want to emphasize is that the effectiveness of your body. And I really, really want you to pay attention. Your body is an efficient machine. One time, Pastor did a sermon and he talked about the bone connecting to the muscle and that it was very dynamic. And we got an understanding. I guess the MD came out in him that day, and we got an understanding of really how the body works, right? It is a very, very, very effective machine. And sometimes it takes a lot of assault, right? But eventually it stops. When it cannot take anymore, it stops. It's like you have a brand new car. You have a 2022 Mercedes-Benz. And you drive that, you decide you're going to drive it 5 years, no oil change, no tune-up, nothing. Eventually, I really don't care what brand it is, what make, what model, what year. One day it's going to break down. And that's the same concept you need to apply to your body. A very simple concept. So you should try to remember that. Or another example, if you have a house here, and you just bought it and you decide to relocate and you lock the house and go to Florida or go to wherever and spend 5 years. Nobody take care of the house, nothing. When you come back, it's not going to be in the same condition that you leave it. Everything needs care, and that includes your body, okay? So I hope those two very simple examples help you to get the concept that you need care. And you need nutritional care. You have to take care of your body nutritionally if you need it to work effectively. And when I talk about it being an effective machine, I want you to zero in a little bit. I am always in awe of the human body. And that's one of the reasons that convinced me there ought to be a God, because our body is miraculous. So for me, that's the number one reason that I'm convinced there ought to be a God. Just imagine, you eat food, you have teeth to chew that food, to grind that food. You have saliva, you have enzymes in your mouth to start to break the food down. It goes through here, goes to your stomach, get grounded and churned, and then your body takes what it wants and then discard what it does not want. Okay, it is absolutely amazing. Are you aware how many processes that happen on a daily basis? Every day, every second, I'm talking, I'm moving my hand, I'm blinking my eyes, I'm doing a whole lot of stuff. My heart is beating, everything. It's miraculous. But we get so used to our body that we disrespect it sometimes. So I'm giving you that simple example just to tell you, you need to respect your body. It is a very, very efficient machine. Do not take it for granted, okay? So I hope that come across, all right? In order to do that, in order to be effective, your body therefore needs nutrition. Every aspect that I just mentioned needs nutrition. The body needs to be nourished, okay? Every process is in your body needs nutrition. Be it macronutrients like fats, protein, carbs, which are the macronutrients, the big nutrients, or the smaller ones, be it your trace elements, your minerals, your vitamins. It needs a whole lot. So let me just give you a little breakdown, okay? Your macronutrients, you need your carbs. That's your energy source. It still baffles me why carbs get a bad rap. Why do you think sometimes when you miss meal, you get foggy and stuff? Because your brain uses glucose as the main source of energy, and glucose comes from carbs. So the benefit of glucose in your body is to provide, sorry, the benefit of carbs in your body is to provide glucose for energy, for your brain power, okay? So then you have your protein, your building blocks, everything in your body needs protein, and all these enzymes, a whole lot of enzymes. We have a whole lot of enzymatic activities that go on in our bodies every day, right? So protein tend to be a very important aspect in that, in your cells, okay? The foundation of your cells and so. Now fats. Sometimes fats get a bad rap, but listen, do you know if you don't have fats, you can't function? You need good fats. You need fats for your sex hormones. If you have an athlete that exercises too much and she's a female, she's not going to have a menstrual flow every month. She may not be able to have children until that aspect of her health is taken care of, right? You need fats to buffer your organs. All your organs need to be buffered, all right? Protected and stuff like that. But there's a difference between good fats and bad fats. Okay, so you need your fats. So contrary to popular belief, you need those things. Those are the three main nutrients. And then here you macronutrients, okay? Then there you go. You need your minerals. You need your calcium, your phosphorus, your magnesium, your sodium, your potassium, your chloride, your sulfur. Those things you need. And then you go on to your trace elements. Do you know you need things like selenium? You need chromium, you need iron, cobalt. You need a whole lot of things. So you are walking, I don't know how to pronounce it, but you are walking whatever. You know, you have a whole lot of vitamins and minerals and everything in your body that come together in a synergistic way. The big nutrients and the small ones all come together. They play a different role in the body, but they have to work synergistically to make you who you are and to make your body function efficiently. So there you go, the concept of eating to live, right? So that's the concept of eating to live, utilizing all the nutrients, the big nutrients, the small ones, they all come together to perform different processes and chemical reactions in the body so that you can function effectively. Okay, if you're iron, you don't get enough iron, you're tired. You don't get enough iodine, you have thyroid issues. Okay, you don't get enough, what else? If your sodium is too high, you need to be hydrated. Your potassium too low, those things could affect your functioning of your heart, right? You don't get enough vitamin D and the calcium, and those things could affect your bones. So they all perform a different function, but they're interrelated and interdependent, and they work synergistically to provide everything that's needed in your body. So I hope at least you are not going to take your body for granted. Do not take it for granted, okay? One day, just let your kidney get mad and stop working, and then you'll appreciate what it does, right? Let your liver get tired and stop getting rid of all the junk that we eat, all these snacks that's loaded with color, red color, pink color, green color, all kind of color. Some things cannot even be identified and stuff. Let your liver get tired and can't process those toxins from your body. And then you will learn to appreciate the value of your liver. Okay, so let your heart stop working at night. When you go to bed, let your heart take a break, because you just overwhelm your body with so much sodium. You have so much fluids in your body. Your heart cannot pump that fluid around, and it gets tired, and decided to take a nap one night and see what's going to happen. All right, so your body is a very effective machine. And please, you know, do the best that you can. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's doable. And it's all about attitude. You have to have the right attitude and understand the importance of good nutrition in your overall health, okay? So that's where you eat to live. Then the next aspect of it is living to eat. Living to eat is a very dangerous phenomenon. So you live just to eat. You can do that for a while, but then not forever, right? Your body gonna stop. One day it's gonna get tired. Because when you live to eat, that you put an assault on your body, okay? You have assaulted your body and it can only go so much and then it stops, all right? So sometimes and there are other times you do the best you can, but you end up with chronic illnesses. You know, you get a rough deal and you have chronic illnesses. You did not bring it on yourself. Life happens. What do you do? What do? You push, right? You pray and you wait for something to happen. Those of you that were here Sunday, you push. Push means you do the best you can do, right? You get the help that you need. Do the best you can do, get the help. Now you then plan on it. You end up with an autoimmune disease. You end up with MS. You end up with Parkinson. You end up with diabetes. Nobody planned those things. You end up with uncontrolled high blood pressure, kidney disease, whatever it may be. That's not in your game plan. You didn't write your story that way, but it happened. So what do? You push, right? You get things together, get the help you need. You do the best that you can. You seek professional help, get the help that you need. Then you put it to the higher power. You pray about it, but you don't just sit. You work while you pray, right? Work while you pray. And then once you believe and you have faith, Christianity is a faith-based religion, right? Once you believe, you have faith, things will happen. So you wait for things to happen, okay? So I hope you get that concept. So how many minutes I have? 2 more minutes?
Yeah, about that.
Okay. So the final point. Did you know overeating weakens and debilitates the digestive organs, often resulting in disease? So when you overeat, you put a strain on your digestive organs. And sometimes you end up getting disease. So you have to be very cognizant of that, okay? I'm sorry. So that's my final point. I know it's a lot. I've said a lot in a short space of time, and there's so much more that I can say. This is only the tip of the iceberg. But because of my time limit, I'm done. So hopefully you have some questions for me in the end. So it was a pleasure being with you this afternoon. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and before you go, and before we go to the next guest, let me ask a question, a quick question. In your opinion, can we get all that we need nutritionally from the consumption of fresh foods, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, etc., or is it your opinion that the fresh foods, fruit and vegetables that we eat must be supplemented by vitamin supplements or whatever?
No, not necessarily. You don't necessarily have to do supplements. It depends. It depends on the person as a whole. Sometimes you may have some situations going on. You may eat the right food in the right quantity, but absorption could be an issue if you have, some absorption problem, metabolic problem, and you may need to supplement. But ideally, if you mix your foods very well and you're a healthy individual, you should not have to do much supplementation. It should, the food itself with good combination and mixing your food, plant sources, animal sources, and mixing the food very well. You should not have to supplement. The food that should be able to provide all the nutrients that you need. You just have to be cognizant of the fact that there are some things like your water soluble vitamins. You can't overload on those. You need those every day, because after it gets to the threshold, the rest is being excreted because it's water soluble. So like the vitamin C, a lot of people load up on mega doses of it, but it has a threshold. When your body get to that threshold, whatever else you put in is wasted. So it comes out. So you need to know things like that. All right. But with good mixing of the food, you really should not have to supplement. Maybe as you get older, but really not.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, Sister Sharon. And we're going to be coming back to you once we get to the point of questions.
Thank you.
And let me just say that if you have questions, we're asking you right now to go to the chat room and line up with your questions. You can begin to go to the chat room and put your questions there, and we'll take as many as we can in the context of the time that we have. And we have already been richly blessed by our Sister Sharon Molzak. We'll hear more from her momentarily. But right now we're going to go to our second guest, who is our Sister Kathy Jackson. She is an exercise specialist now, and we've known her for some years. She's been a part of Morning Star for some years. She's considered an expert exercise consultant. She has consulted with seniors groups and not so seniors groups, but groups all over the area, and she specializes in creating exercises for people who think that they don't have any way or means of exercise. I mean, she can take the simplest things and create an exercise routine from it or with it, and you're gonna see that demonstrated momentarily. Sister Kathy Jackson is another one of our expert residents that we love, and you're gonna enjoy her as well as she talks about the fitness aspect of health and well-being. So hear her now for her expertise and God's grace. Sister Jackson.
Hello, Pastor, and thank you for that beautiful introduction. And thank you for inviting me tonight to talk about getting fit with exercise. First, I want to say Sharon was awesome. She always brings it all together. And every time I hear, I learn a little bit something new. So I'm so used to being in front of a group of people and always working it out, not always talking about the fitness. But the first thing I want to say is you do not have to be extreme to get fit and healthy. You just need to be consistent. All right. A lot of people, they say, okay, I need to start a workout program. And one of the things that they do is they take on too much at one time. It's a slow process. You know, we want everything microwave, and that can cause injuries. So I always tell people, okay, you don't know what to do. You haven't worked out in a while. So let's start here. Let's say 15 minutes, okay? 15 minutes every day for 15, 3-4 times a day, a week, every week. And then you want to build from there. So and say you're doing 15 minutes, let's add 5 minutes, okay? Instead of just doing the 15 minutes 3-4 times a week, let's do 20 minutes, or you can just add another day. It's all baby steps. So, and another thing I always tell people is exercise is not a one size fits all. It's different for all of us. You have to find out what that is for you. You can get your basics, and you have to work with that. All right. So I have created a chair workout program that includes endurance, the 4 elements of fitness, flexibility, strength, and balance with the chair. And that's for people who have a challenging time standing up and working out. But the same things that we do in this chair, we do standing up. All right. So say for general, you want to do something every day. Like I said, 15 minutes. Anybody can work out for 15 minutes, but your challenge comes when the consistency. You have to make sure you do it. It doesn't happen overnight. Baby steps. So what I wanted to do is show you some of my exercises that I teach at some of the centers around town that include the endurance, the flexibility, the strength, and balance. okay? So with the total body exercises is what I do in the chair, meaning functional exercises, meaning these are exercises that we put our body in every day to handle our daily chores. So for one, you want to warm up anything before you get started. And well, let me do it like this. First, I always say fuel up. And you fuel up, meaning you put in the oxygen, the energy, your gasoline that you need to perform the job. All right. So, and a lot of people figure, well, just because we're in a chair, you get to lay back and relax. No, you came to work. So we're going to fuel up. I'm going to show you just a little bit of all of that. All right. So you got to inhale and you lift and you stretch and you bring your hands here and you take in deep breaths. So you inhale, and I always say, always 8 in, always 8 out. So you inhale on 8 and you exhale on 8. If we do that maybe 3-4 times, okay? So that's your fuel. That's to get the body going. And then you have to warm it up. Now we do jumping jacks, we run, we do core work, all in the chair. All right. So here we're going to warm it up a little bit with some jumping jacks. You something as simple as that. And then you want to run. You put the right arm up and the left knee and you run. And then you work the core all the way left and all the way right. And then you get a little bit of cardio, elbows and knees. And all that I did, you can do standing up. All right. Now that's for people who have limited mobility. So don't never think that you can't work out just because you can't stand up. Another thing that people always do is like they want to hurry up and get the weight off quick. Anything you get quick, you lose quick. You want it to become part of your life. You want it to be who you are. And then again, I'm going back to sharing 70-30. 70% of you getting fit and healthy is the food. 30% is the workout. All right. So you don't want, they two have to come together. They always play a role. But excuse me, let me wet my whistle. And that's another thing. When you're working out, a lot of people don't realize that the breathing and the water are just as important as the workout. So you don't want to skip out on any of that, and including the breathing. All right. So I'm going to do a little bit of a workout. Hopefully you understand now that you have to be consistent. All right. So I'm going to pull my chair up and I'm going to show you some other exercises that we do in the chair. So I always say that functional exercises, you want to reach in your cupboard and grab a cup. So there's an exercise where I say, grab it, pull it down and roll it back. Not only are you getting shoulder, you're getting hand work, you're getting back work. So it's a grab, pull down and row. Grab, pull down and row. So you get all of that in one exercise. Okay. So I always start from lower, upper, I go back and forth. So I always put your hands here on your hips. You want to try to keep your back off the chair. You want to keep the core engaged. Strong core means a strong body. So we work with some leg stuff. We do high knees. So you bring your knee up here, in here, in here, in here. Okay. Now, and then going back to the core, you've got a cross-body chest press. You get everything you need right here in the chair. And the challenge itself, you put the two together. So I always say something like, put your right hand here, put the left hand here, and you turn, and you get them both. And you can literally work up a good sweat in this chair. Again, like I said, everything we do in the chair, you can do standing up. So now I have some balance exercises that I do. I don't know. Let me move my chair. Remember, all of these are just as important. Can you see me? Okay. So balance here, all of those are components of a good workout. You want to include all of those in your workout. All right. So here, and then with your hands in front of you, you bring the knees up. That balance, you want to grow the balance. The balance is good for focus and stress reliever and all of that also. Okay. And then you want to bring your legs out here to the side and holding them up. All those things you need in your workout. So now I'm going to bring my chair back. right here. Okay. Now, you want to have some flexibility, all right? So, a good stretch. I always say inhale, lift, stretch, and grab the moon and let it go, all right? So, let's stretch the core. You want to take the right hand, put it behind your chair and push. You want to bring the left hand over and grab the chair if you can and pull. Look this way. Focus on that core stretch right there for 10 seconds. And then you go to the other side. We want to loosen up our hips. You want to put your hands down here. Bring that right knee up and you flex your foot and you pretend you're drawing circles with your heels. So you're going around from the hip. I do that 10 times in both directions. And you want to extend the right leg. You want to keep the body running here. And you want to slowly take your chest down. You lead it with your chest, not your head. And you bring that down. And when you feel your stretch, that's where you work and breathe for 10. And you come up and you bring the hands with the leg because touch matters. All right. You don't want to skip out on that. Now, you inhale again and you blow it out. And you come all the way down and you just let it all go. Release any tension that you have in your lower back and you ragdoll up. And you let the core do the work. The core does the work. Strong core always means you have a strong body. All right. So saying all of that, I will be doing classes in Linden and in Roselle if you want to come and get a more deeper class. All right. So that's all I have to say for tonight. I would do a whole class. Do you have any questions, Pastor?
Well, there may be some, but I just before we go to the our listening audience, I heard you mention the same word or phrase that Sister Sharon mentioned. And I think it's key, and maybe you could add something to it. You mentioned the word consistency, which to me means that we need to make what you are saying, that is exercise, a part of our lifestyle. Did I get that right?
You did get that right. It has to be who you are. It has to be something that you do on a regular basis. You don't want to do it for 1 week and quit. It has to be part of you. And you do that by baby steps. You can't do it overnight. That's why I always say a little at a time and you grow into a bigger thing. Say right now, I'm lifting 2-pound weights, okay? But I'm consistent. Next week, I got 3-pounders. I'm being consistent. Say in a month, I got 5-pounders, and so on and so on and so on. And at the same time, you're growing your strength and your muscles. The strength training, and it grows your muscles. It helps, and even sometimes reverses your aging processing. So you always want to include some weights. Always.
Thank you so much for that. So now we have heard from Sister Sharon Malzak, nutritionist par excellence, and Sister Kathy Jackson, exercise specialist par excellence. And now we want to go to you. If you have any questions for either one of them, questions about nutrition, questions about exercise, how do you get started? Where do you get started? What do you do? How often do you do it? What are the best foods for what? How do you best make it a part of your lifestyle, etc., etc., etc. Or what should I? What are good exercises, or what is good nutrition for this particular condition? So if you have questions, if we can answer them, we will. If we cannot, we will refer you to somebody who can. But anyway, if you have questions, you should be lined up in the chat room with your questions, and we'll try to get to as many as we can and be as helpful as we can. So let me go to Brother Terry to see if we have any questions from our listening or viewing audience.
Good evening, Pastor and ladies. Awesome presentation. The chat is really blowing up with how much they enjoyed the presentations. But the main thing I'm getting on the chat is, how can I get in touch with you?
Yeah.
So I had someone wanted to know, every people in the chat want to know how I can contact Sister Jackson and how they can contact Sister Mozak.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's see. Sister Sharon, you want to start first? Give your, I don't know, name or title and contact information for those who wish to reach out to you for further consultative help.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you my direct number, 908-986-7303. So that's 908-986-7303. My email address is smulzac, like my last name, SMULZAC RD, R as in Robert, D as in dietitian, @gmail.com.
Okay.
smulzacrd@gmail.com.
Thank you. Sister Jackson?
My number is 732-322-9656. If I don't answer, please leave a message. I also do classes at the Multipurpose Center on John Street. Every Thursday at 11:30 to 12 is chair aerobics, and every Friday at 12 to 12:30. And also in Roselle at the center off of Chestnut, I do a class every Monday and Wednesday. Wednesday, 12 to 1 o'clock. So that's an hour class. And the classes at the Multipurpose Center on John Street is 30-minute classes. So Thursday is chair aerobics and Friday is chair yoga.
Okay. Thank you. And both of you, I would imagine, serve as consultants to various groups or individuals upon request and the matching of schedules.
Yes.
So for me, I do have my private practice. So I do have my location here, and I do virtual as well.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Can I just ask as a let's see, just as a personal privilege as the host, can you talk to me, Sister Sharon, about collard greens?
Well, you know what, believe it or not, it's one of the most nutritious vegetables, really. Collard green is very nutritious. But again, it depends on what it's cooked with.
Yeah.
That's the issue. If you load it with, the fats and stuff, that's an issue. But you can use fresh herbs and spices, and you can use some coconut milk, and it gives it a very good taste. So after a while, your taste bud gonna get used to that. The thing with eating is that you can make small changes. You do not have to do stuff drastically. And that's the thing I think people get carried away with. They want it fast. It's a quick fix. No, you make gradual changes, and in time, you're gonna see the benefits, okay? So that's what it is. Being a little bit easy on yourself. Enjoying your food, like the scripture reading, there is a aesthetic value to food. You enjoy the food, and just don't be too hard on yourself. You make the changes in increments, small changes.
All right. And Sister Kathy, would you suggest that to make exercise a part of your lifestyle, does it work better to start with a small amount of time, or does it work better to start with a simple exercise and grow to more complicated exercise versus starting with a small amount of time and grow to a larger amount of time?
I like the exercise. I say start with small exercises, because once you get involved and you grow in that small exercise, your time is going to automatically come. You're going to want to do more. You're going to
Okay.
want to
Okay.
exercise.
Okay.
Mhm. And you know,
Pastor, if I can, Kathy,
mhm,
in terms of the exercise, I'm just gonna give a quick example.
mhm,
At my facility that I work now, when I got there, I met a lady. She's 76 years old, and she walked every day, and she has been doing that for 38 years.
mhm.
And she had people that join her, leave, staff turnover, and I joined her. And we were in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, if this woman come to me, I'm gonna hurt myself. It's like every day, and stuff. Because in the beginning it's hard and you want to take a break, right? But now I get so used to it and my body has adjusted. So I actually look forward to it. And we walk 45 minutes every day. We walk from 12:30 to 1:15, 5 days a week. But because the hallways are big, they're wide, we
Mhm.
walk in the building, which is it's a very, nice environment. And we talk about life and life issues and everything. And I don't even feel the 45 minutes. And do you believe I weigh less now than I weighed 2 years ago?
Mhm.
I've lost a couple pounds. That was not my intention, but doing it, consistently and managing what I eat, and I feel better.
Mhm.
So it's about having the discipline.
Yeah.
It's the discipline, but you have to start.
And another thing, that sounds great, but a lot of times your body adjusts, like you said, adjusts to that one thing that you've been doing. So you want to try to spice it up a little bit. Say you're just walking, and our bodies are used to that normal walk. You want to challenge it. You want your body to say, what the heck are you doing? You want your body to talk to you. Put some weights in your hands, to change it up a little bit. Because if you want to see more changes, you have to increase. If you're doing something, the same thing for months on at the same time, the body isn't going to respond to it anymore. So you want to grow what you're doing. So do something. Say you're walking, you got a normal walk, sprint for like a few seconds and then slow it down. Go fast, then go slow. Like that's an interval. Up and down, up and down. You say you're only sprinting for 30 seconds. The more you do it, say you're sprinting for a minute. And then before you know it, you're running, if that's your goal. If that's your goal. And one thing I love about exercise is that it not only changes your body, it changes your mind, your attitude, and your mood. So that's the benefit of working out. Not just to, in the beginning, I started working out because I wanted to be cute. Then now it's health. That it changes. Now it's all about being healthy. You have to be a stick to be fit and healthy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see if let's go back to Brother Terry. I don't know if a question or two may have come in.
Yes. Question for Sister Mozak. Is there a difference between organic products or regular grown foods?
Well, it depends. Difference in terms of, organic is supposedly pesticide free and everything like that. So it tends to be of a better quality. That's what it should be, and that's what they are proposing. But the thing is, for me, if you cannot afford organic and do regular, but just make healthy choices. So then it depends on your pocket. Like me personally, I really don't do organic religiously, but there are some items I will do organic. Okay, for example, bananas, because when I eat the regular bananas, It bothers me. So I do organic. I do organic apples. I tend to do chicken without the, the antibiotic and stuff. So it depends. It should be of a better quality. But the bottom line is, if you cannot afford organic and you mix your foods well, you should be okay too. But generally, it should be better, even in terms of nutrients, because things that you add, like, fertilizers and those stuff, what you find happening is that the length of maturity is so short that sometimes the food does not have time to mature properly. So because of that, the nutritive value is compromised. But when you have stuff that's grown organically, that take its time and grow over the normal length of time that it should be growing, the nutritive value tend to be better. It's more enhanced. So you have to look at the entire picture. It depends on where you are in life, how much you could afford for your groceries and things like that. If you have an illness and you want to eat clean, you want to just eat in a better way, you can do organic. So it depends on a lot of things. But if you really can't, you don't have to push yourself to go fully organic if you can't afford it. You can do some things organic, other things regular, and just mix the food, and you should be okay as well. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, thank you for that. Brother Terry?
What causes inflammation in the body, and how can you reduce it? Not sure if that. It doesn't say. It's not directed to anyone, so.
Yeah. Well,
I don't even know if that's a.
yeah, if it's a relevant question.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Inflammation is, infections cause inflammation. Viruses, bacteria. It sounds like the reference is like that to food causing the inflammation. I'm not sure I'm aware of any food that causes inflammation. Sister Sharon, are you?
Not that I know of directly, but I guess if there's an assault on your body, then that increases your overall risk for inflammation. Because I know, for example, if people that obese tend to the fat cells, there research that said that the fat cell produces more inflammation. And I think my guess, like, for example, like during the COVID, you had some people that not much, underlying issues, but were just overweight and end up succumbing to the virus. And that was one thing that was saying the overabundance of inflammation and the increase in the C-reactive protein. So it's like your body was overreacting, produces the inflammation from the fat cells, and the body just couldn't fight it. So whether that's, I guess more research has to be done on that.
Yeah. Okay. Brother Terry?
Okay, another question for Sister Sharon. Sister Sharon, I find myself not eating all the time. I mean, I can go days with just one meal. What suggestions can you give on how I can eat better?
Well, that's an overloaded question in a sense. There are a lot of dynamics that could be going on. So that person can call me offline and we can discuss it, because then I'll need to know other things. Sometimes it depends. It could be age. If there's an older person, sometimes you lose your desire for food. It could be a side effect from medication. It could be just that so much going on. Sometimes people are depressed, functionally depressed, and not really realizing it. So it depends on a lot of things that could be happening, and not really realizing how much it can impact your appetite. if that was your pattern all along, then that's your pattern. But if that's something that happened recently, then it means that something would have triggered that. So the question becomes, what's the trigger? All right. So it's that's why I said it's overloaded in the sense that I mean there are a lot of aspects to that. So unless I do a comprehensive assessment, I will not be able to give you you know, an individualized response. So that person can call me offline. That's fine. So I hope that helped.
Yeah, thank you for that.
For
Anything else?
example, with me, just to piggyback a little bit, but you have to be conscious, you know, you have to know what you normally do and what you don't, and you have to pay attention. I find myself drinking more coffee now than usual, than normal. And for me, I know it's like the war just like the COVID was bad because I'm in healthcare, you know, but then the war just broke my spirit. You know, it's like, how could I? So right now, I choose really not to listen to news. Very small because I realize it's having an effect on me. I just cannot understand how lives could be so just so, you know. So I find myself drinking more coffee because I get them and I was like, you know what? I don't care. Look at so much going on in the world. Let me drink my coffee. Or sometimes I'm feeling happy. Oh, let me drink my coffee. Then other times, well, I'm thankful I'm alive. Hey, let me drink some coffee. So I drink my coffee for everything. So now, you know, but I'm conscious of it. Okay, so sometimes things sneak up on you, so you have to know what's normal for you and what's not, and say, listen, you know, something is wrong here. But I'm working on it.
Okay, thank you for that. So Terry?
Sister Sharon, again, how important is fiber to weight loss?
Well, I did decide I was not going to talk about that weight situation, but well, fiber make you feel full. It adds bulk. So if it's one thing, it's good for bowel regularity. And actually, it reduces generally, fiber tend to reduce your overall intake. Because when food does not have fiber, it's easier to eat more, right? So you tend to take in more calories, right? Compared to, you know, if the food does not have fiber. So fiber add bulk, right? And should reduce the amount that you eat. So that's the basic concept. For example, if you're eating brown rice, real brown rice, you know it's harder to eat than if you were eating some white rice. You will eat a lot of white rice before you really get to, you know, so and it may make you draw tired, you know, because you have to keep chewing. If you have an apple, it takes more out of you to have an apple than if you have a cup of applesauce, right? So the fiber, it's take a while longer to actually eat and it adds bulk. So from that point of view, it could help with weight loss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But how much, it depends. It's very individualized. May
Yeah.
not be that much to be that you know significant, but it can help.
Thank you for that. Any uh any other, Brother Terry?
Let's see. We got another one. I struggle with the coffee. What is a good supplement?
Supplement or substitute?
Substitute is probably what they meant.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, look who you're asking, huh? You can sometimes what I do decaf.
Okay.
What I do, I mix it. I may do half decaf and half regular. Or you just, you know, just maybe reduce the amount you drink at one time, you know, so that you know, reduce the amount and you spread, you know, spread it out throughout the day, kind of rather than sit and having like a big cup now and then maybe next 2 hours or 3 hours, you feel like drinking another one. So you can just say, okay, I'm going to have like 4 ounces of coffee or 6 ounces of coffee every 6 hours rather than having 12, but it requires discipline. Everything really requires discipline.
Yeah.
So I hope I
Yeah.
help you a little bit there.
Yeah. And discipline is one of the fruit of the spirit.
Mhm.
So it's important. You know what? I think we could probably keep getting questions for the rest of the evening. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to get all the questions answered free so they don't have to call you. But we can't spend all night long. So what I would like to do right here is to give you, Sister Sharon, and you, Sister Kathy, an opportunity for closing remarks. And in it, could you please again repeat how people can be in touch with you for further consultation? So anything you want to say in summary and in closing that you feel is extremely important, please say that now, and we can let's see. Let's go with Sister Kathy first this time, and then we'll close with you, Sister Sharon. Sister Kathy.
Okay. I think I said it before. Fitness is not just for your body; it's for your mind, your attitude, and your mood. And you want to be consistent, and you don't have to make it extreme to get fit. So you always want to stay. Don't think about it too much. You know what to do already. So if you want more information, if you want a full 30 minutes or 15-minute workout, just reach me at 732-322-9656 or come around to the Multipurpose Center on John Street and get a class. Thursdays at 11:30 to 12 and Fridays at 12 to 12:30.
Thank you so much, Sister Kathy Jackson, for being with us this evening. We so much appreciate you. You're absolutely fabulous. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sister Sharon.
So what I want to say to everyone is that making changes are difficult. I'm not saying that it is easy. What I'm here to tell you is that it is doable. You have to do the work. Be easy on yourself. If you mess up, start over. Start over right where you are. Take it in small pieces. Don't look at what everybody else is doing. You do not know the life. You do not know what's happening.
Oh, you did.
Dance to your own drum. Just take your time. Do what you do for you. Food is meant to be enjoyable. Enjoy your food. Do it in moderation. If you change your eating habits, you can change your life. It is not good enough just to be alive. Your quality of life while you are alive does matter. So eat to live, but not live to eat, because if you live to eat, you may not live long enough, okay? If you need to reach me, I'm available, 908-986-7303. Or you can send me an email, smolzakrd@gmail.com. And listen, do not be embarrassed to get help. I've seen for the past year, too many young folks that die from chronic diseases like kidney failure, diabetes. Those deaths are preventable just by making changes. You are not alone. There are millions of people that struggle the same way you do. Join a support group, get professional help. Do one day at a time, and it is doable. So thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Sharon, for granting to us a sharing of your wonderful expertise. You also, absolutely magnificent, absolutely magnificent. And we thank all of you for joining with us on this evening for another edition of Morning Star Community Christian Center's Life Study. We know you've been blessed. We know you've been blessed. These two wonderful experts have taken from their time and expertise and have shared with us, and we have all been blessed. And we're grateful to God for them and what they have shared with us. And so between here and Sunday, we want you to continue to be safe, to be strong, continue to be vaccinated, and and most especially continue to be blessed. And we'll see you Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. sharp.